Shalom family, welcome back to the channel. Today we are at Sky Plus Restaurant. We have had some delicious food and it was good. And now we're going to discuss some things with you concerning your repatriation to Ghana. Wanted to give our perspective, right? Some things that we feel that you may want to consider in your move to Ghana plan, right? And so if you're planning on coming here, repatriating to Ghana, what are some things that you should consider and think about? And when you're mapping out your plans to come to Ghana, consider these things, right? And so one of the first things that I would say that you should consider is business, right? Consider business. Consider how you will want to earn income, right? But start considering that before you leave, right? I would say think about the things that you love to do, right? Don't just think in terms of what will make the most money or what will, earn the most for you, right? Because you want something you're going to like doing. You want to... right? Because it's going to be your thing that you're going to do to help you earn money. So you want to make sure that you like doing it, right? And so that's one thing I would say. Consider business. Any kind of business really would work here in Ghana. And so there's no such thing as a bad business, that you want to go into if you're into art. There's room for you if you're into technology. There's room for you if you're into, agriculture, manufacturing, if you're into cosmetology, right? There's room for you here. And so whatever your gift and talent is, the thing that you love to do, please consider that. Consider that and be willing to come to Ghana and set down some roots in terms of business. Agreed.
Okay, so another thing I would say that we should consider when we're thinking about moving to Ghana is healthcare, okay? And so it is very important to consider healthcare. Okay, so when we came to Ghana, it was mandatory for those traveling into Ghana to show proof of healthcare. Travel insurance, I should say, right? Travel health insurance. So that was mandatory at the time. I'm not sure if it's still mandatory. So during that transition period, consider the health insurance that you're going to have, whether it's, international or not. Ask those questions of your healthcare provider, or if you're going to go, and buy a specific international healthcare, consider those options. For us, when we left out, we had Safety Wing, right? That was the insurance that we had for the travel. Now we're citizens and you get different options, right? But definitely consider the healthcare. Here in Ghana, if you do not have insurance, it's not very expensive to visit the doctor's office, right? It's not very expensive.
Medication either for pharmacy.
Not for medication either. So I think to get an appointment with a general practitioner here in Volta region, now I'm not, Accra is a whole different story, right? But here in Volta region, it's around 80 to 100 CDs. Right, to see the doctor, to see a general, practitioner for anything like that. So it's not very expensive without insurance, but definitely consider the healthcare aspect. Do your research, see what countries are covered by different international options, especially if you have children or you have the elderly loved ones with you when you are traveling. So consider those as well.
Right, and along with that, you want to go ahead and start visiting your primary care physician. You want to start visiting your OBGYN, your dental, your vision, right? Start your relationships with those physicians and doctors early.
Before you leave?
No. When you get here, right? And so consider it before you leave. But you were talking about how expensive it is here. Right. So when you get here, just go ahead and go to the doctor, right? And get acquainted with a primary care physician, especially if you have kids. And the reason that I say that because when I got to Volta, right, I had an accident. So a piece of wood fell on my my foot, and I pretty much hurt myself bad, right? And so I had to go to the doctor. And so when I went to the doctor, my doctor, he was like, "What in the world? How in the world did you do this?" Like after getting fussed out, right? And so, but because I built that relationship with him from that point, he's my doctor now,
He's
right?
seen us several times.
Yeah,
Every
and
time
so
you be like, "Y'all, what are y'all even still doing here? Y'all live here now? Like y'all
Right.
just out here just doing
right.
stuff."
And so, but it's good to have a doctor who's familiar with, whatever is going on in the family, especially if you have someone who has a issue, a health issue going on in the family that you know, right off when you land. Consider finding your primary care physician and making a visit and continue on from there. Preventative measure, right, is the best is the best thing to do.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Right. Yes.
And so the next thing I would say that you want to consider before leaving is where you're going to stay. What area are you going to be in, right?
Yes,
what region? There's how many regions in Ghana?
I think it's 16.
It's a lot of regions, right? And so there's a lot of space here in Ghana, right? So which one is right for you, right? And so we have diaspora that are everywhere, right? So we have diaspora that are in the northern region and Tamale, Volta region, Ho, right? And we have people who are in Greater Accra, right? I don't know this Greater Accra. I don't know what region. Is that a region?
Greater Accra is the region.
Okay, yeah. So Greater Accra. We have people who are in the central region, right? That's where the Pan-African village is, I believe. And so, yeah, so we have diaspora that are all over. So consider what region that you like, right? So some regions are closer to the beach. Some regions are in the mountains, right? Some regions are, up north, so it's more dry. It's more dry and hot up that way. So it depends on what you like and what area does it for you. But do your research, right, and find out what area or what things that you like, and that way you can kind of map out where you want to live. If money is an issue, then Accra might not be your place, right? Because Accra can get expensive. It really can.
Very, very fast.
Listen, yes, right. But if money is an issue, then you might want to come out of Accra and maybe consider places like Ho, right, where you still have the regional capital city, right? You still have city vibes, but the cost of living is a lot lower than Accra, right? And mostly the reason that Accra is so expensive is because that's where all the tourism happens, right? That's where all of that things happen. Wherever there's tourism booming, the prices are going to be high, right? And so just this saying that, consider your budget, right? And what's affordable for your family. That will help you determine what areas that would be beneficial for you guys to be in and live in. So,
yes. Tagging on to that also, about the different regions, also consider that in each region comes a different people. Consider the different people that you're going to be living among, because it's different language. Sometimes it's, Ghanaians have a shared cultural aspect, but sometimes it is different cultural things that come with different tribes and things like that. So it helps you in your research to kind of know the people that you are living among as well.
Amen.
And then also for accommodation as well, I cannot agree enough. Thinking with your finances, don't live beyond your means type of thing. And then also when we're considering, specifically places to stay, here in Ghana, you do pay up front, but we say never go beyond a year's lease.
No. Please don't, family.
Do not go beyond. We have heard several stories, and we've even seen stories of people who have signed a 2-year lease freshly coming into Ghana.
Yeah.
Please, no. Never beyond 1 year's lease, because you just never know. You never know that you might have issues with the landlord. You might have issues with the place. You don't like it. You might have anything can arise. So please, let's never go beyond a year. Even a year is a lot, kind of.
Right.
But normally you'll come across a year advance, right? And so let's never go beyond a year. That's just some general advice. So the next thing to consider in your move to Ghana plan, right, is, let's say, banking, okay? Because we're looking down at our notes. Okay, so let's consider banking, right? Okay, so you're moving your life abroad. Firstly, before you move abroad, consider your banking situation as it stands now, right? What type of cards do you have? Keep in mind that Ghana is a cash-based society, right? Not that they don't accept credit cards. A lot of places do, and it's not, the majority thing is cash. Let's put that out there. But if you do come across a place that does accept credit card, normally it's Visa or MasterCard. You're going to find a difficult time if you have American Express or if you have Discover, right? And so if you're coming with your cards, you can use them most likely at the ATM, but some places you can use them, right? But make sure that you have a Visa or a MasterCard. That's going to help you a lot. Okay, and so your banking option, of course, before you leave, always tell your bank, hey, I'm going abroad, or else they will shut everything down on you. Right? Tell them you're going abroad. Let all of the people know.
Right.
Right. And then once you're here in Ghana, they used to have a thing where you can get different bank accounts before residency, but now it's become a general thing that you do need residency.
You need residency.
You do need at least a residency to open up a bank account here in Ghana.
Yeah, which is one of the reasons why we say consider residency when you first land, right?
Yes, from the moment that you land, residency should be on your mind. How do I acquire it?
Right.
Ask those questions. Get that process started as soon as you land, because it's possible. Right, it is possible. Okay, so when you are at that step during banking, know that you need at least a residency to acquire a local bank account. Now, with that in your mind, make sure you have a plan with your home bank. You know what I'm saying? That things are going to run smoothly in that aspect. Don't close
it out, family.
Don't be shutting down your home bank when you know that you need at least a residency here in Ghana to open bank accounts. Okay?
I would say just leave it open, just until you have to. Yeah, because you never know. You might need it.
You might need it, yeah. We also know some people that be like, listen, as soon as I'm able, I'm shutting down all aspects. I'm shutting down everything from that place. But yes, definitely consider when you're wanting a local bank account that you're going to need at least residency.
All right. Yes. And so the next thing we have is that you want to consider is the future. Right? And this is something that...
I'm sorry, y'all. I forgot certain things about banking.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, when it comes to transfer of money, also, I think that's a notable option. That we have Western Union here, we have RIA here, we have MoneyGram here. You're able to transfer funds through that. Wise people use World Remit, Remitly, all of those things you're able to use here. It's good to get a non-citizen Ghana card when you get here, like when you touch down, right? But if you do not have one, if you're here on a tourist visa and you're just using your passport, you are able to use your passport as a means of identification in Ghana for 3 months, right? But after that third month, because technically, right, if you're here on a tourist visa, you're supposed to be flying back and coming back, right? So after that third month, they cut off using your passport as a means of identification.
Yeah, they want you to register as being
You're gonna
here.
have to get right. You're gonna have to get a non-citizen Ghana card, which that you need also to even get a SIM card, right? And so it's just good to get that and have those things in mind.
We promote that you get it right when you arrive. When you land.
Because why not?
It's not expensive to get, and when you get it, it helps you move about easier and be able to settle in a lot faster. Yep. So another thing that you want to consider prior to moving is the future, right? And so we talk a lot on this channel about building for the future, right? Doing things that may not benefit you today, but will benefit your kids tomorrow, right? Doing, acquiring land, acquiring a property, building out a business, right? A lot of people say, well, I'm not into business and I don't know if I want to buy land, but if you have kids, it's imperative, right? Because you are moving your whole family out of the West into a whole nother country, right? And so in the country that you're moving to, especially in Ghana, right? Because that's where we are. If you're moving your family to Ghana, that means your kids are going to grow up in this society, right? And being in this society, they're not a part of a village. They're not a part of, that type of thing. So it's important for us to acquire land and property and kind of build out infrastructure or a space for them, to have that you might not want to build, but they might want to, right? Even if they don't want to, it's there, right? It's there should they need to. or or what have you, right? Or they might want to build on it and put Airbnb or some type of a business or something like that on it, and be able to generate income in some kind of way. So you never know how it can benefit the next generation. But I just want you guys to consider the future, especially if you have kids. Consider that you may not want to, but it'll benefit them in the long run.
100% agree. I think a lot of us, or at least, I can think of my experiences in the U.S. I wasn't really thinking about the future like that in that aspect. I really didn't even think that it was possible for me. I was even struggling to see how I was going to retire myself, in the U.S. It wasn't even... what I'm saying, let alone thinking about my children or my children's children, leaving something for them, having something that they can inherit and, live on or be in, or, things like that. And so sometimes for me, I know that it would have taken a conscious effort for me, or somebody telling me like, hey, this is possible. Start thinking about these things before you move to Ghana, right? Think about, what land size you want, how your compound you want it to look. Do you want separate houses? Do you just want to come to Ghana and buy property? You just want to buy 2 condos, one for yourself, one for your family. How do you want that asset gain process to go, right? Because it's always good to gain assets. That is just, how you leave down generational wealth, for your family, for your children. And so these things are possible 1,000%. And so, yes, that's definitely a major thing to consider in your move abroad plan.
Family, so that's all that we have for you today. We hope that this information gave you some things to kind of think about, some things to kind of consider in your move abroad plan, right? I pray that you guys have a blessed and wonderful day, evening, or night. Until next time, family, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And most high willing, we will see you next time. Shalom.